Alright, y'all, so I'm back for episode 2, and I lied. I thought Kat was gonna do a little something, but security came in. Security and Ryan, they came in before, Kat and Charmaine could even get shit popping for real. Charmaine says that Kat is taking it super personal by putting hands on her. Kat is still trying to fight Charmaine, and they still exchanging words or whatever. Danielle instantly runs to Kat's side and everything, and is talking to Kat or whatever, and Kat is like, Charmaine is supposed to be my best friend and all this other stuff. Now, personally, me, if y'all ever watch my Mob Wives reviews or whatever, when they was supposed to be friends on that show and motherfuckers was fighting and shit, I done told y'all, like, if me and you is supposed to be friends, and it gets to a point where we gotta put hands on each other, we don't need to be friends. Like, that's just straight up. You know what I'm saying? But I understand, some people, they handle their shit differently. Some people, they do fight it out or whatever, but that's just not me. What else was I getting ready to say? Oh, and then also, too, you know what I'm saying? If I was in that situation, if I was in the middle, my cousin and my friend, they get into it or whatever, I would be neutral. I would make sure both parties is okay or whatever. Something that Danielle didn't do. It seemed like she was just kind of all for Kat or whatever. But at the same time, I mean, we do remember from season 1, Charmaine and Danielle have expressed it. They weren't always, they didn't grow up together, which I still kind of find just so weird, because their moms are best friends, but they didn't have that, growing up. They didn't have that until later on in life or whatever. But at the same time, I still feel like you still do have a relationship with both of them at this point. So I still feel like Danielle should have made sure Charmaine was okay too, and because they both were wrong in that situation, to be honest. But anyways, Ryan pretty much says he doesn't need Charmaine to fight his battles for him. She's saying that Kat trying to sit up here and say the only reason why she's still here is because of Dawn or whatever. And Ryan and Ford tell her, like, that shit is not true, so well, no need for you to go, do all that or whatever. And, Charmaine was like, nah, she's sitting up here throwing low blows, disrespecting me. I'm going to disrespect her back or whatever. Blase, blase. Moving on from that. Charmaine and Ryan, they're taking Van's daughter, out with them to get, Van, some stuff for when, he comes home and everything. But Charmaine, her focus seems to be more on Brianna and, getting her stuff, and getting her stuff or whatever. Ryan says, Van not trying to come home to see his daughter all Charmained up and everything. The stuff that Charmaine is picking out for Van's daughter, Brianna, she's not feeling it or whatever. And Charmaine was like, girl, I was wearing thongs at 13 or whatever. I said, I bet your ass was, Charmaine. You know what I'm saying? Charmaine asks, does she miss, her dad or whatever, Brianna talks about how, she's like, yeah, I read the letters that he sent, and, she tells what was in the letters and all this other stuff. Ryan pretty much gives her words of encouragement, or whatever, and, she did try on some of the stuff that Charmaine picked out for her and everything. And Ryan wasn't too fond of it. He said, I guarantee you, if I send this shit to Van right now, he'd be ready to break out of the boot camp or wherever he's at. And then we get Ford and Dawn. They're at the doctor's office, so Dawn could take the paternity test and everything. And he thinks that Whitney is jealous of him and Ashley or whatever. I was just like, it can't be this much delusion in the world. I highly doubt that she's jealous of you and Ashley's relationship with your community dick ass. Now, I mean, I know it might be some females out there like that, you know what I'm saying? But in this situation, I don't feel like she's jealous of what y'all got going on, or lack of what y'all got going on. But anyways, but he still, at the same time, does wonder if this is his daughter and everything. And if it is, it can mess up the dynamic that he got going on with Ashley and his son. So Ryan brings in a new tap man named Junior Diaz. And then, yeah, she's feeling some type of way about it. She feels like it's shady as fuck. and you know nobody's playing fair at this point. Ryan says that well, he tells Charmaine to take Junior to the back or whatever, and she's like, the Cat's booth or whatever, and he says that's not Cat's booth, that's Junior's booth now, and all this other stuff. Junior, he gives us a little bit of his background. He's been doing this for 5 years. He's won some awards. Charmaine, she takes it upon herself to touch Cat's stuff yet again and throws it out. And she kind of flirting with Junior a little bit, talking about some, don't mind me if you see my ass. I don't have on any panties or whatever. I was just like, really, girl? Like, I mean, But anyways, Danielle says that, that they were just she was like, so we're just gonna be hype, about the fact that someone is taking over Cat's booth and everything. And Ryan, reminds her, well, the last thing she said was she don't have to be here and she got new shit or whatever, this, that, and the third. I mean, I feel like Cat probably might have said the shit out of anger, but of course you do have to be careful with what you say sometimes, because sometimes people could take that shit literally, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, Danielle feels like Danielle's just not okay with this at all. So moving on from that, we get Don and Ashley. They're at like this this bouncy place or whatever. I forget what you call the shit, but they're with their son DJ. Ashley has a conversation with Don, saying, like, can you see us with more kids or whatever, and pretty much asks about their future and everything. He says that, everything that he's been doing, he does it for them and all this other stuff. He can't really focus because, he's wondering about this paternity test and everything, and, if this girl can be his, and, this can ruin everything he's worked so hard for. I said you should have thought about that before you sat up here and sling your dick in yet another bitch. But anyways, moving on from that, the linebacker from the Chicago Bears, he comes in or whatever, and he asks for Junior and everything, and Danielle shakes and talking some the new guy and everything, and so they kind of had a little chuckle about that. He says he wants to get his kids tattooed on him or something like that. Charmaine talking about some, oh, they got a big head or something like that. I'm just like, really? Like, was that even necessary? You know what I'm saying? But, and, she takes it upon herself to shade Don, talking about some, maybe Don should get his kids tattooed on him so he could keep up and everything. Junior gives a background on his life and, says that his dad left, his brother was in the gang, he brought a knife to school one time, causing him to be expelled, he got arrested a couple of times for graffiti, but he decided to change his life around for his mom or whatever. Moving on from that, Kat, she walks in because she wants to have a conversation with Ryan or whatever. Danielle takes Kat to the back because she don't want her to be blindsided pretty much, and she says that that's her bitch and she don't give a fuck how nobody feel about it. She tells Kat what Charmaine did and everything, and talks about the new tat man that Ryan had brought. And, she brings up the things that Kat has said that made Ryan come to this decision and everything. And in the middle of the conversation, Kat walks off to confront Ryan or whatever. And she asks Ryan, like, who touched my shit or whatever. And he's saying, I didn't do it or whatever. She's like, I'm just asking you a question. Ryan says, she's like, you bring somebody in my booth or whatever. And he says, this is not your booth and everything. Ryan says he doesn't owe her shit, and she's like, I'm supposed to be your sis, and that's fucked up or whatever. And then she asks, did Charmaine do it or whatever, this, that, and the third, and that's when they, go to blows again, and then that's when we get to the commercial break. So they go at it again, and pretty much ain't neither one of them really doing anything. I mean, Kat is on top of Charmaine, but it's still like nothing is connecting for real. They break it up, yet again. Charmaine, she, talks about how Kat not only put hands on her once, but twice, and the friendship is over. 4, he goes outside with Kat and Danielle. I'm like, damn, Danielle, once again, is with Kat and not even checking up on Charmaine. But, anyways, You know, Kat calls Ryan a coward and couldn't even tell her to her face about all this shit. You know, Charmaine is in her feelings, you know, about Kat putting hands on her and they supposed to be friends and blase blase. Kat has a photo shoot. You know, as the makeup artist and the hairstylist is doing her hair, they ask about the scratch that's on her neck, and you know, Kat lets it be known that, you know, me and my ex best friend, we got into it last night or whatever, and you know, she touched my equipment not once but twice, and that shit is not cool, and all this other stuff. And they, you know, the makeup artist and the hairstylist pretty much agree that it was disrespectful or whatever. Kat is going to be on the cover of this of the magazine or whatever that she's doing the shoot for. She gets a call from Van, you know, and she says that Van is such a positive light in her life, and I really like. I told you guys last season, I really like Van. I know I popped off on him just a little tad bit, you know, when they all was attacking Kat and shit like that last season, but I really do like Van. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he's like the glue that holds them together, and like without him it's just a whole bunch of like chaos, you know what I'm saying? You know, she tells him about the photo shoot or whatever, and she says, you know, I'm by myself and everything, and you know, he's like, what's been going on? I don't want to hear nothing bad. And she's like, she don't really want to tell him about that shit right now, you know what I'm saying? And you know, he has to go, so they hang up, and you know, but well, he gives her encouraging words and saying that she's gonna kill the photo shoot and everything, and you know, pretty much Kat is all about Van at this point and fuck everybody else. So Charmaine for Ryan, and I think Charmaine's friend, they're in the shop or whatever, talking about how Ryan used to be a cheerleader, and he was like, I mean, I was the one picking the girls up. I ain't had pom-poms and shit in my hand, you know what I'm saying? And he said that's how he met his baby mama or whatever. Some dude named Chris, I didn't get his last name or whatever. He comes in to get a tattoo from Ryan. And I think he said the movie, The Pursuit of Happiness, was about him or whatever. And Charmaine gonna sit here and tell my son, my mom had that movie on bootleg. And it was like, why would you say that? Like, really? You know what I'm saying? Charmaine is a trip, I tell you. But anyways, we get to Don or whatever. He's decorating his new apartment with Ashley and or whatever, and you know, he tells her that they're gonna pick up Van on a party bus or whatever, and she says that she's excited to go. She can't wait, and he like, you know, he doesn't like really, you know, he doesn't want Ashley to be there with Charmaine and everything. And he tells her, you know, I don't know all the details yet. I don't know, you know, if it's just going to be the fellas. And she's like, you know, that's bullshit because Van is non-mag, which means all of non-mag is going to be there. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, you know, she knows there's going to be strippers there and Charmaine and all this other stuff. And he not slick. She says he's doing her like how he did her in the past, not inviting her to shit, and that's fucked up because Van is like a brother to her. It feels like they taking 5 steps back and all this other stuff. And she's like, you know, is it because Charmaine whole ass is gonna be there? And she's like, fuck it, have fun and everything, blase, blase. Girl, ain't nobody thinking about Don whole ass but you. So they're on the party bus or whatever, and it looks, you know, on the outside it looks like a prison bus and everything. I thought that was, you know, a cool idea. You know, Kat doesn't really want to be on the bus with Charmaine and Ryan for 5 hours, but she's doing it for Van because that's her brother. Charmaine can pretty much care less about, you know, Kat being there, just as long as she, you know, keeps her hands to herself. They're all, you know, they arrive at, you know, the destination and they're waiting on him, and he comes out. As soon as he comes out, they all are instantly running like, you know, little kids in the candy store. Ryan and Ford, they're the first ones to grab him and hug him and all this other stuff. You know, they're all hype and everything, and I thought that was, you know, that really was, you know, cute or whatever. Van, he lost some weight. I'm like, you know, don't lose no more. Just, that's good right there, but don't lose no more. Okay, I'm just saying. But you know, Van says that Kat looks good, you know, with the blonde hair or whatever. And she's like, you know, I'm a new bitch and everything. And Charmaine is like, you know, Kat is trying to put on, you know, this good act for Van or whatever. And if he knew about all the shit that she, you know, been putting us through, he would not be pleased and all this other stuff. And, you know, they're on the party bus and everything, having a good time. You know, Van, he's also turned up. He's ready to turn up. Danielle pretty much said what I said earlier, that, you know, Van is the glue to their group and everything. And, you know, they have strippers there and whatnot, and he says that he's glad that the family is back together. I said, ooh, that's what you think. You're gonna be in for a rude awakening once you find out the shit that's been going on with them. But that's pretty much episode 2, you guys. Let me know how you guys feel about it. I don't think I'm gonna have enough time to review Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, because the Hip Hop Awards are about to come on. So I guess after they go off, depending on how I feel, I might review it then, or either I'll review it tomorrow. And I also plan on reviewing the Hip Hop Awards as well. But make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you guys come back, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.